Yeah, that's it. Hello, my friends. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. I'm Sarah, the creator of Jujubee DIY and the owner of the hands behind the creations. Today I'm bringing you 6 whimsical, easy, and super affordable DIYs for your spring and Easter decor. Our main theme for today is the bunny. If you want to see how I created these 6 DIYs, don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Alright guys, to get started with our first DIY, we're going to need some washi tape. You'll need a sign that you can revamp. Mine came from the Dollar Tree, of course. Some scrapbook paper and one of these cute little bunny DIY ornaments from the Dollar Tree. I think those come in like a 6-pack, but we'll just need one for this project today. Now my washi tape my washi tape came from Walmart. This was a package, actually 2 packages I believe, that I picked up, and all the colors coordinated really nicely, and I thought they would look really great in my planners. Here we are using them for a DIY project, but I thought they were perfect for spring, so I'm going to use them here. If you can't find this washi tape at your Walmart, you can always go into Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any of those places. Go over to their planner section and you can get washi tape there. You can buy it individually or you can buy it prepackaged where all the colors will coordinate perfectly together. So now I'm going to just add my washi tape in strips here across the whole entire front of my bunny, making sure that I press that washi tape into the wood really well, because washi tape isn't a super sticky tape. You'll want to make sure you're pressing that down super well. And if you feel like you need to, you can definitely add some Mod Podge over the top if you feel like your washi tape might come up in the long run. I didn't add any Mod Podge to my project here, but I can always do that in the future if I feel like I need to. Now, taking my box knife, I'm going to go around the whole perimeter of this bunny, just trimming off any of that extra washi tape. And I have to say, this was mildly satisfying to get all those little strips off. Now to prepare our sign, I'm going to take out that XOXO word piece and I'm going to set that aside for a future project. And now I'm going to use some craft glue just to add my paper. You can use any glue here. If you want to use a glue stick, that works perfectly as well. I just had that sitting there, and so that's what I used. I had pre-cut my paper down so that I knew it fit into my sign perfectly, and I'm just going to press that down with my fingers just to make sure there aren't any bubbles and that it is all down really well. Now we're going to add our bunny to our sign. I am just going to use hot glue here to add my bunny. That will work perfectly on this paper. Hot glue and paper work really well together. They play very nicely. And we're just going to add this cute little bunny smack dab in the middle of our project here. And that, my friends, will complete this project. How cute is this little bunny sign? I just love this, and I think it is perfect for your spring and Easter decor. For DIY number 2, we're going to use one of these little envelope floral box things from the Dollar Tree that came out during Valentine's Day. I don't really know what these are called, so if you know what it's called, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I have a circle and a heart that I painted white with the Waverly chalk paint, and then I'm going to go in with this little scraper and I'm going to pry off this little truck. I was able to get this up no problem. It did take a little bit of just kind of finessing, but I got it up and it didn't do any damage to either the box or the truck. So I'll save that truck for another project in the future. So taking some of the Waverly chalk paint in steel, I'm going to add a line down the center of my heart, and then I'm going to just kind of dry brush around the edges of my heart and in the you know, inside, I'm just going to dry brush on it. So I'm going to keep going until I'm happy with how it looks. If you end up with something that is a little too dark for you, definitely go right over the top of it with a little bit more white paint and you should be good. And if you just heard my stomach, I am so sorry. It is time for fuel. So I am going to do the same for this circle as well. Now, if you haven't guessed, we're making little bunny feet here. So I'm taking my ballet slipper and I'm going to add 3 little circles to the bottom portion of this heart, or actually that's kind of the top portion of the heart, but we flipped it around. So I've got 3 little toe beans there, and then we will add the bigger circle kind of towards the top in the middle. So we call feet at our house, like little animal feet, toe beans at our house. So we have dogs that have toe beans, cats that have toe beans, and our bunnies also have toe beans. So yeah, we love the word toe bean in our house. We're just going to add a little bit of hot glue to the top of this little heart, or the bottom of the heart, you know what I mean here. And we're going to glue that to our circle to create a little bunny bottom. So now I wanted to create a tail for my bunny, and I'm going to use this white twine that I pick up from Walmart. I thought that this would make it more rustic, which is kind of the look I was going for here, and would be really cute. So I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue, and then I'm just going to start rolling this up, and I'll keep hot gluing and rolling as I go. Now, if you don't want to do it this way, you can always cut out a circle of felt and then start gluing your twine to that felt, and it might make it a little bit easier. I just felt like this was easier for me, so this is the way I went. So I'm just going to keep going until I'm happy. I'll kind of keep checking my little bunny bottom and tail to make sure that they're not getting out of proportion too badly, and then I will glue that down when I'm happy with it. And here is this cute little bunny bottom. Love it. So I added some hot glue to the back of the circle, and I'm going to put this right in the front of this little box. Now I added some floral foam to the inside of the box, and then I'm going to add some florals to it. I got this lavender from Walmart. I really enjoyed the lavender that comes from Walmart. I think it's really pretty. And I had some florals that I picked up last year at Michael's as well. So I'm just going to add some of this in. Oh, I forgot that I added some of the boxwood as well from Walmart. I have a huge bin of like leftover florals, so I was just kind of picking through there. So yeah, just use whatever you have on hand or whatever you like from the store. And it doesn't take too many to fill up this little box, but it's just really cute. I added a little bit of this white twine to the top for the hanger because I had taken the hanger off. I didn't want that jute twine that was on there. I wanted to make it this white, and that will finish up this project. I love how this turned out. I think it is super cute. I think that this will be super adorable in my kitchen, actually. So that's where I'm planning on putting mine. To get started with DIY number 3, we're going to paint that wood arrow from the Dollar Tree white and distress it with a little bit of the Waverly chalk paint in steel gray. I went to my computer and I printed off this bunny crossing. I used the font The Skinny in bold, and I transferred that on with my graphite paper. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I love to use this technique. You could use stickers or vinyl for this part of the project if you'd like as well. So I just filled in the words with, or the letters I should say, with the Posca pen in black. And now I'm just using that white Posca paint pen to add some highlights to my words, or my letters, however you want to say that. So just going in and just kind of adding a little bit of detail here and there. And as you can see, The paint was kind of coming across a little translucent, so I gave it a good shake, and that was all it needed to make this paint more opaque. It just had settled in the paint pen, and I evidently did not shake it well enough before I started using it. So make sure that you shake these pens really well before you give them a go, but they are just really fun and easy to use. So now that we have our bunny crossing filled in, I had painted 4 of these little bunnies that are new to the Dollar Tree this year. These are just little wood bunnies. I painted them 4 different colors, and I'm going to add them to the bottom of my sign. Now you can see I kind of messed this up a little bit. My arrow is kind of going in the wrong direction as my bunnies are. So if that bothers you, make sure that your bunnies are headed in the right direction of the arrow. I wasn't going to change this. I didn't have the time, first of all, and I didn't mind it. So after I adhered these little bunnies to my board, I'm just going to go in that white Posca paint pen and add some little dots. Now you can do the same technique using a stylus and white paint. To finish this project off, I'm going to use a little bit of jute twine right there at the base of the arrowhead and the long part of the arrow. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times and then hot glue it in the back, and then I'll add a little jute twine on the very end of the sign. And I was only able to get 2 wraps there, so if you want the same amount of wraps on each side, make sure you wrap first before you add your words and stuff. I kind of thought about this after I had done that, and I was okay with that, just having 2. So I didn't end up putting a hanger on the back of this because I just planned to set this on a shelf, but you could add a hanger to the back. And I love how bright and cheerful this little sign is, and I think it is perfect for Easter and spring decor. I hope that you have enjoyed today's DIYs so far as much as I have enjoyed creating them for you. If you're new to my channel or stopping by for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. On my channel, I like to do whimsical and cute DIYs on a budget. I also enjoy doing farmhouse, country cottage, and cottagecore DIYs also on a budget during those non-seasonal times. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button down below and join me here on YouTube. If you liked today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That lets me know that you're enjoying today's content and that you want to see more creations from me. For DIY number 4, we are going to use one of these little MDF eggs. They came in a 2-pack. There were a couple different colors. I had picked up purple and yellow, but I'm going to use the yellow one here. It doesn't really matter which color you use, but I used my straight edge ruler there to figure out a little bit that I wanted to cut off the end. I wanted this to be flat instead of round on the end. So just taking my box knife, I'm going to keep scoring that just down that same line until I can kind of break it apart. If you end up breaking it and it kind of comes off weird, just take a little bit of sandpaper to it and just even that all out. And that was just super easy. Then I just started peeling off the paper. I kind of got as much of the paper off as I could, and as you can see, there was still paper left. So I used my spray trick. This is just spraying water on it, letting it sit for a little while, and then you just scrape that paper right up and it comes right off. Super easy, and then all that paper and glue is gone. Give it a quick little sand to prep it for paint, and then I gave this a coat of, oh, that's right, I did add this little broken line. This is just a zigzag. I just put this in there with my pencil freehand. Then I painted the bottom of it with a little bit of the Waverly chalk paint in lavender mixed with white. And then the part at the top is just white paint. So going over my little zigzag lines just to clean it all up, I am just using that Posca paint pen in black. That just adds a little more definition to our cracked egg. So now I'm going to add some of these stickers. I couldn't get that word out. These are the pop-up stickers from the Dollar Tree. They usually come in like a not primary, but like rainbow, like brighter rainbow, and then they've got these pastel colors. So I thought the pastels were perfect for my little egg. I didn't end up using any of the really green ones. I just kind of used the pink, purple, and teal color. And I just added them on there until I was super happy with how they turned out. So now we're going to work on the nose of our little guy here. This is just like a, I don't know, it's flat on one end. It almost looks like a little tiny mini mushroom. I think these are for doll making or whatever, but you could just use a regular wood bead for this part. I just happen to have these on hand, and so I painted that pink with a ballet slipper from Waverly. And I put it on that tape so that I could easily paint it without having to get my fingers all over it. So now taking some of this wired jute twine from the Dollar Tree, I cut some lengths off and made some little ears. And if you haven't guessed yet, we're making a little bunny in an egg. How cute is this? So I just added his little nose. I hot glued the ears to the back. And now we're going to work on making his little face, or her little face. So using that Posca paint pen again, I am going to add some little eyes. And I just kind of put these on here, you know, closer together at the top. I definitely saw something similar on Pinterest. So I was using some of the elements from that project on my project, and they had put their little eyes close like that, and I thought it was super cute. So I am going in with a little bit more of that ballet slipper for some cheeks, just adding some rosy little cheeks here with a dry paintbrush, just swirling that all on, and look how cute it is. So now I'm going to add some little whiskers. I'm just painting these on with the paint pen. If you don't have one of these paint pens or don't want to get one of these paint pens, definitely just use a fine liner paintbrush and paint for this part of the project. So now I just made a cute little gingham bow for her hair, and you could actually put this down below and make it a little bow tie. So you could do two of these and make one a little girl, little boy, and have a matching set. So now with that little piece that we cut off before, I thought, ooh, I could put that on the back and make this a freestanding piece. So that's what I did. I just hot glued that little piece right to the back, and it stood up perfectly. And then we're utilizing all of the pieces of that egg, and nothing goes to waste. So I was really happy about that. And I think it just goes together really well. It looks really professional and seamless. So here's a look at our cute little bunny. I think this turned out super adorable, and I can't wait to put this in my house for Easter. All right, we're moving right along. For this DIY, I'm going to utilize this little hat that I had made previously for a St. Patrick's Day project. I will link that in the iCards in case you want to see how I did the hat, but basically it's just one of the Dollar Tree hats that you have tinsel on, and you just take the tinsel off, wrap it in the nautical jute rope from the Dollar Tree, and then you're all set. So taking this little bunny bag, this is like a little treat bag that I picked up at the Dollar Tree last year, and I didn't end up getting to use any of these in a project, so I thought, what a perfect place to do it this year. So hopefully you can find these little bags with these little ears. If you can't, you could always use like the little ears with the headbands, cut the ears off, and you could do that too. So I just added a little bit of, or one whole Chanel stem inside my ear. I had cut them off and there was a little opening. I just kind of folded it loosely in half so that it was looped more or less. I didn't want it to be sharp at the top. I wanted it to be rounded, and I just inserted that into my ear just to give it a little stability and make it stand up. And then I'm just going to bend the bottom back up towards the back so that the front has got a nice clean edge, and I'm just going to hot glue that all up in the back. It doesn't matter if this is messy or not, just secure those ends so that they don't pop out in the front. And I'll do that to both ears. Now, I am sorry, but I kind of got out of frame a little bit here, but I just kind of grabbed the bottom of that and just kind of squished them together, more or less, in a kind of zigzaggy pattern, maybe a little bit. Basically, I just pinched that bottom and hot glued it because I wanted that ear to kind of look like it has, coming out of the hat a little bit. So now I was looking at this a little bit better, and I decided that I wanted to cut out that grid from inside the hat. So I left the center part because I didn't want to ruin the integrity of the hat necessarily, but I didn't want all of that extra bit in there. And I had put a bag in there before just to fill it up, but I really wanted to add some florals to this piece. So I am adding a little bit of floral foam just to the top. I'm just going to kind of squeeze in some little pieces that I have, and it'll work out perfectly. And as you can see, that floral foam has been used many times over, and it was just fine. It doesn't need to be perfect floral foam. So now we're just going to glue our ears to the front of our hat. Now, I didn't show you that, but you just hot glue it kind of at the base there, and then if you need to, you can hot glue the back of the ears to the hat as well, just to kind of keep it secure so they don't flop around. Now I found this little daisy chain ribbon that I had in my stash. I can't even tell you where it came from. It was actually gifted to me, but I'm pretty sure you can find any kind of ribbon that would be perfect for this project. You could probably find something similar in Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but any ribbon will work here. And even like the jute twine ribbon from the Dollar Tree would look adorable. And now I'm just going to add in some florals. These are just florals I've had on hand. That eucalyptus I think came from Walmart. I got some of my favorite lavender, some of the boxwood from Walmart, some stuff from grab bags from Michael's, and I think a few things from the Dollar Tree as well. So I just kind of filled it up with florals that I liked. I was keeping this kind of a spring theme. I used colors that were in those ears, and I thought that that would work out perfectly. So just make sure you're kind of getting a variety of different flowers in there, and look how adorable this is. I think this would look lovely on a Easter table as a centerpiece, or you could add it to like the top of a tier tray, and it would be so cute. All right, so our final DIY of the day is going to be a very simple and easy project. I'm just taking one of these cubes from the Dollar Tree, just a wood cube. If you can't find the wood cubes, you could use the dice that the Dollar Tree sells. Just paint it white, and then I just distressed it with a dry chip brush and the Waverly chalk paint in the color steel. Next, I'm going to take this burlap ribbon that I have picked up from Walmart. I'm going to cut off the wired edges. I don't want the wire, I just want the burlap. So any burlap that you have on hand will work for this project. I'm going to cut off a length and then fold it in half so that I've got two even pieces of burlap. And then I'm going to cut ears out of the burlap. So I'm just going to kind of cut up into kind of a rounded triangle a little bit, keeping that bottom straight. And now we've got two little ears. So to add our ears, I am going to kind of fold that whole piece in half. I'll slow this down for you and show you up close what I did. So as you can see, I kind of folded it in half and then folded those outside edges in the opposite direction. So you want it to look like an M or a W here when you're done folding. And then I'll just hot glue that together to secure it. And then once I have both of the ears done, I'm going to hot glue them to the kind of middle center of my cube here. Just like that. Now we're going to paint on a little face. I decided to make the nose a little heart, so I am just using a fine liner paintbrush and some ballet slipper from Waverly to paint on a little heart, and this will create the nose. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of that paint to also create some little cheeks, just dabbing that on into a circular area. And then I just went in with my black Posca paint pen, went around that little heart, created a little mouth, added some eyes with eyelashes, and a little bit of an eyebrow. Now I wanted to go around the cheeks, so I'm just using a little dot around the cheeks just to add a little more detail. And then I'll add in those cute little whiskers. So just 3 little whiskers going from the nose to the outside of the cube. And there we have our little bunny face. So totally adorable. Next, I wanted to add a little pink to the inside of the ears, so I'm just dry brushing on a little bit of that ballet slipper right to the inside of that burlap ribbon. And to finish this off, you can add anything you want up here. I found this little flower in my stash, so I'm just going to hot glue that in between the ears, and that will complete this project. I think this is super cute and perfect for a tier tray or any place you just need a little extra cuteness. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. As always, leave me a comment down below and let me know which project was your favorite or which ones you might recreate for your own home. I hope you have a happy, healthy, and blessed day, and I will see you next week. If you want to watch more of my videos, make sure you check out these ones that will be listed on your screen. Until next week, bye!